Alright, so once again, a very big welcome to Penax TV. Today is one of the most saddest day in the history of Black American entertainment and also Black American sports and the history of even Ghana and even Africa, US, the whole world as a whole. Because today, we've actually lost one of the biggest basketball player. Let me say the all-time legend, Kobe Bryant. He's dead. Now, a lot of people have heard what happened and they've seen pictures and videos. Unfortunately, we can't put some of the videos on the screen due to some guidelines that YouTube actually tells we the bloggers to follow. So because of that, I can't put all of those things on the screen. But then, hey, you can go on Google and then check online and see the footages and videos for yourself. Some are just very distressful and distressing. But then we hope that at the end of the day, all these things will just give us a reason that humans are not to live forever, and whatever happens in this world, one day we have a place to go. Kobe Bryant yesterday died in a tragic helicopter crash we all saw and what happened. But then I'm here to give you a brief info about this particular man. His real name is Kobe Dean Bryant. Kobe Dean Bryant. He was actually born on August 23rd, 1978 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. So that was where our own Kobe Bryant was dead. Now the news came yesterday, but people actually want to know what really happened and how all of these things happened. Before we even get into that, this particular man, he actually was married and he had kids. Yes, Kobe Bryant was married and had kids. And then the first wife the wife that he actually got engaged way back in 2002, that the father and the mother and even the friends, his own friends, did not attend their wedding. He is still with the same wife, and now he was still with the same wife that through even his death yesterday. So that is the same one that Kobe Bryant has been with for the past almost 18 good years, and they have been together. So when they got married in 2002, somewhere in 2003, I mean, the couple was actually expecting a child, but then later the whole thing got out of hand because the woman in question had a miscarriage. So because of that, they needed to wait for some time, and in 2006 they welcomed their first daughter, whose name is Guyana. But before then, the woman in question here that Kobe Bryant married, her name is Vanessa Lane Bryant. And as I said earlier on, they've been together for almost 20 good years, or 18, 19 good years, somewhere in 2001 when Kobe Bryant was coming up, and then he actually fell in love with her and they got married. Even though the family opposed to this, they've been together for a very long time. So in 2006, they had their first daughter. The name of their first daughter was GiannaMaria-OnoreBryant. Now, before I even move on to this particular tragic news that actually happened, this man, as I said earlier on, he had a daughter, not just a daughter, he had 4 children. And in a moment, we'll be giving you the names of these particular 4 children. As I said, it spans from Guyana Bryant, Natalia Bryant, Bianca Bella Bryant, and Capri Kobe Bryant. So these were the 4 children that this particular young or legendary athlete Kobe Bryant had with the wife Vanessa. And then the tragic thing happened yesterday. Now let's even move on to what actually happened, because that is where a lot of people want to know really what happened. Well, we have just more information that have not actually come out, and all of these things suggested that yesterday this particular man in question, whose name is Kobe Bryant, he was actually traveling to California. He was actually traveling to California, and the place that he was actually traveling to was to play actually a football game. Now, as noted, this particular legendary basketball player, even though he quit his career for some years way back in 2017-16, he's actually been active in the game, not as in active as in playing though, but then he's been active as in supporting young athletes, offering advice, offering financial help, and even serving as a role model to all of these young basketball NBA players. He was a basketball player. So as part of his duties that he had put on himself, they were flying to California for a game, or they were flying to Thousand Oaks, California. That was yesterday Sunday for a basketball game where her eldest daughter Guyana was expected to play, and Brian was expected to coach the team. Brian was expected to coach the team. The name of the team information we are getting is a Mamba team, or a basketball Mamba team. And then the unexpected happened. So whilst they were flying, information we got was that the helicopter just came down and it fell down. So initially the news was actually reported by TMZ, and a lot of people, a lot of media house did not actually believe, because TMZ, most of the news they bring is not actually authentic and all of that. But then fast track into some few hours. Many news portals like CNN, Fox News, Al Jazeera, all of them confirmed the news, and the information we all got was that there were 4 people on board, including the pilots. All of them were dead. So then later on to the day, we also got that information. Among the 4 people dead was Kobe Bryant and the daughter, a very sad one. So later on through the evening, the U.S. County California Department, they actually came out with a press statement and a conference. You can go and watch it on CNN or Fox News, where they actually gave details as to what happened. They said indeed the crash had happened, or the clash had happened, and then sad enough, they can confirm that Kobe Bryant and the daughter is part. But then they want the public to stop talking about it, because as the law demands, immediately somebody dies in an accident, before the whole thing is announced, they need to actually get or do some court issues regarding the person's next of kin before they can come out with any official announcement. But then just yesterday, whilst the police were confirming the news and giving details as to what happened in an ongoing investigation that they are doing, they actually confirmed that the people who were dead were not 4 people, there were 9 people in number, 9 people. And as I'm talking to you now, more names and more names are coming up. The latest information I'm also getting is that a former basketball head coach of a tertiary institution was also part of the people who died, and the mother and daughter, Sarah and Palin, they were mother and daughter, one mother and her daughter, they all died in the plane crash. And as I'm talking to you now, if you think that the plane fell down and they were able to recover some parts of bodies, no, the place, or because if you saw the video, the helicopter came down from 2,000 feet, it hit the ground, and there were debris. The whole thing blasted into flames. So because of that, they need to even pick pieces and do DNA and see that people were actually on board. But the information you're also getting right now indicates that people are actually blaming the pilots, because if you're in California, realize that the weather is actually not good for flying, and the police of California, the California County Department, have even grounded their fleet in such a way, all the planes or helicopters that they'll be using, they've grounded it in the aid that the weather is no good for traveling. So they had issued warning to other pilots and other co-people who actually fly during this particular time for business or for pleasure, and everybody had grounded his fleet too. But yesterday, this particular helicopter passed it to actually go through the fog and actually take the people to a game. So he was actually traveling, but then information we are getting per the voiceovers and what we learned from the voiceovers that came whilst the pilot was communicating with the nearby aviation, it indicates that he was flying at a very deep fog. Deep fog basically means you got up early in the morning and then you can't see anything. The weather is like white. Yeah, that is what we call it, for a thick fog. So the weather was not actually good, and he was flying at a thick fog in the sky. And people are saying from the aviation ministry, they are saying that the helicopter they were traveling in was one of the best. So it had no fault with engine or anything. And then because it goes through a periodic checkup, they didn't have any idea that something like this will happen. So many people are actually pointing to the pilot that perhaps his negligence or he flying at a high altitude caused all of this, because flying at high altitude, you can't actually see it clearly, and there's a high probability of an engine failure top there. So that was what happened. This particular pilot flew all the way up, and he was in a thick fog, and he was just going back and forth, and before we realized, the whole helicopter was spinning back and forth, and it fell down into flames. So currently this is what happened, and then we are wishing all the basketball players in the whole wide world we sympathize with them, because this is a very sad one. The man was just 41 years old. He has so much to offer to the world, young NBA basketball players, and even to Ghana as a whole. Now, this is a very big news, because this particular Kobe Bryant, he hails from West Africa. Yes, his great descendants hails from West Africa, somewhere Ghana, Nigeria, or Sierra Leone. So he's part of ESDO, and then as much as everything has happened, we believe in a video that we saw where he was posed, what relationship does he have with death? And he said that he and death is cool. He actually said that once you were born, you should accept that one day you will die. And death is not just something that is a probability. It's actually a transition that everybody, one way or the other, will pass through. So currently, that is what he said. And then we believe the Almighty God will actually keep him in his bosom together with the daughter, So devastating. We don't know what the wife will say, but then everything that happens, we believe God knows best. We'll try as much as possible to give details of all of the upcoming things which are regarding this particular NBA basketball player right here on this particular platform. Please, if you are new here, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Also like and share this video to various social media handle. Thank you so much for watching.